Welcome to the Film Garage 208 podcast. My name is Sarah, and this is Daniel.
Hello.
Hello. Today we have with us Taler. She is a nurse from Modwella. That's not just based in Idaho Falls, is that?
No.
It's like all over.
Yeah, so Modwella is in 9 different states. So they started in Utah.
Okay.
So it's originally owned by Dr. Ryder Olson and his wife, Jocelyn.
Okay.
And they're based in Utah. So
Close.
Yeah, it's really close.
Okay.
Yep. And then they have been expanding into different states and have just been wanting to make this like a nurse and doctor relationship.
So explain what exactly is Modwella.
So we do concierge health and wellness services in home.
Okay.
So we're completely mobile. So we offer these services by going into people's homes and just for the convenience, because I feel like it mostly stemmed from COVID, because they were noticing that patients weren't getting the care that they needed at the hospitals.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know what, we can offer these services in their homes. And doctors need nurses need doctors. And so we've brought this idea to work together to be able to provide those services for clients in their homes.
Okay.
So what kind of things specifically do you do?
So they originally started out just doing IV infusions, doing vitamins, minerals, and then some medications in those as well. And then we have expanded and have been doing Botox, NAD. We do labs in home.
Wow. Okay.
Testosterone for men, iron infusions. So it's just kind of grown into this really.
Anything that needs a needle. Pretty
Exactly. Yes. If you want to get poked, then you can call me.
So are you having to work with a specific doctor to get this, or?
So yeah, Dr. Olson does all of the ordering for these services.
I see.
We have another provider who does help him for Idaho.
Okay.
So we work under them.
So to get services, do you have to like go see him and like get a consult? How does this work?
So you would schedule the appointment with me.
Oh, okay.
And then at that time of the service, one of our providers will call to have like a discussion, see if they have any questions, just kind of see why they're having the service, just more of like a brief assessment. And then we just kind of go from there. So the nurses are assessing the situation, recommending what treatment they should have.
Yeah.
And then the providers, they really do trust us a lot to just be able to say, like, this is what I think you need. And they usually agree.
So is it easier for the doctors to have people come to them to do this, or to just outsource to people like your company who can just go to their homes and do it?
Yeah. So it's pretty much just outsourcing to us to have come to people's homes.
Is it like for people who specifically are like immobile, or?
Not necessarily. I have we can treat children from 10
Oh, wow.
clear up to elderly. So
Interesting.
we have a really wide variety of clients.
Okay.
So if you are immobile, great, we'll come to you.
Mm-hmm.
But our population that usually are using the services are healthy people that are wanting to continue to be healthy.
I see.
Like preventative
Gotcha.
measures.
It's not like you're calling the doctor because you like
Right.
hurt something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, I feel like I need this. I'm going to call you.
Yeah. Yep,
Okay.
exactly. So
Okay.
I do have a lot of clients, like I said, who are just doing it for like health maintenance.
Yeah.
But we also have a gut bug IV. So if you are like stomach sick or
Oh.
you're hungover, you're
Yeah.
pregnant.
I was going to say,
just
that's what I
different-
heard of this first as was in Vegas.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
a service there for being hungover.
Yes.
They just come to the hotel room and
Yeah.
give everyone some liquid IV and
Yes.
But that's pretty big now. Like you see it on the Kardashians.
It
Not
is.
even just for like
Yeah.
a night out.
I
Like,
know.
Kendall's
They-
all about the self-care, and
Mhm.
IVs is one of them.
Exactly. Yeah. And NAD is big in celebrities too.
So what's NAD?
yeah.
So it's an enzyme that we naturally have in our bodies, but as you age, it decreases. So we introduce it back into your bodies, and then it helps your cells produce at a higher molecular level so that it helps with aging. It helps your energy, your sleep, just to level out those imbalances that you're having.
Interesting.
It's really beneficial for autoimmune disorders as well, because it's going into those cells and just taking the inflammation out of them.
That's
And
cool.
so it's so
I feel like
I
I
can't speak
I
highly
don't know
enough
much
of that.
about that.
Do you know what age you normally start like losing NAD?
Around 30.
30.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to start.
Yes.
Start
Oh,
to liquid.
NAD.
And is there any other way to get that, like just vitamins or?
So
is-
the vial that we do, we have 3 different options of ways that you can do it. You can do it in an IV, you can do it in an IM injection, so just into a muscle, or you can get it delivered to your home from our pharmacy, and then you do subcutaneous injections, so just in like the fatty part of.
I'd rather have you do that than to do that
Yes.
myself.
Yep. So some people just can't fathom the idea of giving themselves a shot. So that's
That would
why
be kind of
that's
hard
what
for
we
me,
do.
actually.
Yeah, it's a mental thing.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever? I did like when I had a child. I did that blood test, and you can like order it online, and you have to do it yourself, and like
Oh.
collect the blood in a vial. and
Yes.
that. Oh,
That's
not good.
hard. Is
It
it
was-
like a finger?
Yeah, it's like a finger prick.
Those
one, and then you have to like.
so
They
bad.
do hurt.
And I'd never done anything like that before, and I'm just sweating, and like gonna pass out.
Yeah.
And then it's like you can't have anyone help you because you can't have like male DNA or anything.
Oh, I
Because you
did.
couldn't like mess
It's-
with it. So
yeah.
it was like solely I'm on my own.
Oh
if
my
I
heck.
wanted to do this.
You're like, I'm a lone wolf here. Just
So
Stabbing my
So it's
fingers.
actually
Yes.
important to have someone to help you.
yeah, that would be tough. Those, oh man, in nursing school we always had to do that. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Just
Did you use the ones where it was like you press on it and then it's like does the click?
Mhm.
I don't like that.
Yeah, no, I would rather not.
So you went to nursing school. Give us your background. How did
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
into this?
So I graduated from ISU,
Oh, okay.
and I've been a nurse for 7 years.
When did you graduate?
In 2017.
I think we graduated like the same year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When did we graduate?
Like
Oh yeah,
2017.
December of the Christmas of.
like
yeah.
2016
Okay,
or
yeah.
2017.
So right around that time.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
From ISU.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Go
Small world.
Bengals, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Whoever they are.
Sure.
You can tell I was really committed to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I graduated and then I moved to Boise
Okay.
and worked there for 2 years doing med surge, orthopedics.
Oh wow. Okay.
And did my time there. And I was like, my dream job was to do labor and delivery.
That's like hospital stuff, right? Like that's like
Yeah.
intense
Yes.
things.
Yeah. It
Okay.
is just like throwing you in and
Yeah.
just trying to survive.
I'm like,
So
yeah.
yeah. And
Sure.
then, yep, I've been doing labor and delivery for the last 5 years.
Currently.
Currently, yes. So I
Okay.
still am doing it about once a month now. just
Delivering a
because
baby.
I love
Oh,
it. It's so good.
That's cool.
And then I've been doing Modwella for the last 2.5 years.
Okay.
So this started, I was in Boise at a CrossFit competition and they had a booth set up there. And I was like, what? This is so
At a Boise
cool.
CrossFit. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Health oriented.
Yep. Like giving recovery IVs
No, I love
to
that,
the
yeah.
athletes. And so I had gotten their information and I was like, I want to do this. I think that this would do really well in Southeast Idaho. And so started working and have been doing this for the last 2.5 years. And then now it's like a full-time thing for me.
Wow. That's really
So
cool.
it's really
you
grown.
just saw this there, like someone else was doing it. Like, was it another is it a
Another
nurse
nurse.
practitioner? Okay.
Yeah, another nurse. Yep. And so we're independent contractors within the business. So it's like
Okay. Like your own
we
person.
own, yes.
Okay,
Yep.
I
And
see.
so we have to do the marketing and advertising and
Do
just
they
help
give you any
growing.
of that stuff to start?
they do.
Photos, videos,
Mhm.
stuff like
They
that.
do provide, just basic stuff that we can post and kind of grow from there. And then also too, just learning and doing stuff on our own as
Mhm.
well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really
so they set us up.
Wait, so how did you get partnered with the company that you're with? Did you just like Google that?
Modwella was the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, at the CrossFit.
Oh, that
Yep,
was them.
That was them. Mm-hmm.
So you just reached out and then you're like, okay, I want to be a part of this too.
Yeah.
Was there like did you have to pass a certification or something?
No, you have to have the RN license.
Gotcha.
Yep. And then just go through like interviewing process and
Cool.
yeah. And
That's
it
really cool.
was pretty persistent because down here, I live in Blackfoot
Okay.
and it's a
wow.
smaller community. You know? And so I'm like, I promise I can do good. I like just had this vision that I really wanted to do it. And they had faith in me. And so
I love that you ended up in Blackfoot after Boise.
Yeah.
I know.
that.
Well,
Random.
that's where I'm originally from.
Oh, okay.
And so
That makes
we
sense for
came
the
back.
ISU, and it's all kind of
Yeah.
I see.
Yep.
Okay.
But I love the Boise area. So
Yeah.
we came back just to be closer to family.
Mm-hmm.
So do you do stuff with athletes,
Yeah.
like the recovery? Is that ever a problem with anything that you use that, like, just making sure that it's okay from,
Oh,
I don't know,
good
standards? I
question.
guess,
all the threats of
policies?
bodybuilding competitions.
Yeah.
or, like these
So
drugs.
there's really nothing that we're giving that will interfere with that.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we have anti-inflammatories. Toradol is our main one that we use for that. But we do have one steroid. It's called dexamethasone.
Okay.
But that's more so for like sore throat, chest congestion. Athletes can use it if they're prepping for an event, and I have done that. It just kind of gives them that extra boost, but it's not like it.
It's like completely
Ding.
legal.
Yeah,
Whatever.
like you got steroid. That it's not like that.
I was just wondering because I'm sure it has like a negative connotation to some people when you see a needle in a vial, and they probably are like, "Whoa, what are you doing?"
Yes, no, it's all just stuff that we naturally have in our bodies. We're just giving it so that it increases what they have.
Yeah.
So how long does something like that normally take, just sitting there to get an injection done?
Yeah.
On average, about 45 minutes,
Okay.
start to finish.
Okay.
Just
You just come to
listen
their
a
house and you hang
podcast,
out.
read a book.
Yes. Yep. Go to their house. Some people are laying in bed.
That's funny. So you just sit there at their house for 45 minutes?
Or do you go to your car? What do you do?
I really
Goes
just
out to
hang
her
with
car.
them. Yeah.
I was gonna put on a
Yeah.
timer.
That's funny.
Yes. It seems odd, but I feel like when you're in someone's house, that's like their comfort zone, and they want to
Totally.
make you feel comfortable too. So it's like, do you need water? Do you need a chair? Or they just want to make you feel at home too. And
good.
yeah, it is.
not
It's
uncomfortable
not
in any
uncomfortable
way.
at all.
That's good.
Especially if like they're really sick. You kind of read the room. Like,
True.
do they want to be chit chatty or
Yeah.
And usually when people are sick, they're like, I don't want to talk. So just hang out. They have dogs, cats, like interact with them. So
Entertain yourself for a little bit.
yes.
That's so funny.
So once you start it, is it pretty hands off, or do you have to check on things throughout? Like you just wait till the bag's empty and
Yeah. So once it's like you make sure that the IV is patent, it's flowing well, and then you administer the vitamins. That's the one thing that is great about ours is that the bags aren't pre-mixed, so we can customize it to exactly what the client's needing. And so I can like administer whatever they're needing and wanting, and then once everything's in, then I just kind of sit back and
Yeah.
just make sure things are going good.
What is pricing like for that?
So our IVs, our pregnancy one runs at like $169, and then
Okay.
up to $219 is where our price goes. And then if
Okay.
you can always add in more, and that's additional $25 for each add-in.
Mm-hmm.
Our other services, like Botox, is pretty. It's really great because we don't increase the price for the mobile part of it. Like
Sure. Okay.
it's kind of that flat rate, really competitive. So we're not increasing the price on that. So
Yeah.
it's really good.
Is this a thing that like insurance covers in any way? But probably not. It's like
Yeah.
it's a luxury.
So it is just out of pocket pay.
Mhm.
Going into this, I've really learned that insurance increases price on stuff. So it would be more expensive if we had to go through insurance.
I do see that actually.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And as like a healthcare worker, I'm like, that's just so crazy to me.
It is
that
insane.
that's the case.
It's so
Mhm.
insane.
Yeah.
Like just seeing a hospital bill
Yes.
after like a quick visit.
Mhm.
yeah, like
It's crazy.
I know.
Like
yeah.
$10,000.
Right. Yes.
What?
I know. And like for catastrophic stuff, obviously insurance is great.
Yeah,
So
sure.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had my labs drawn from a provider, like my provider in Blackfoot,
Okay.
just because I had to check some things out. And I was like, I'll just go there. And it ended up being like more expensive than if I was just to do it myself or have
No way.
another nurse come and do it for me. And I was like reading my bill and I'm like, why is it,
That's crazy.
and it's like office visit. You get charged for the venipuncture, like, just
Oh.
the poke of the needle. And
That's
I
crazy.
know. And so it's
Wow.
just that people have to kind of wrap their mind around, like, we can offer these services. At first, it might seem more expensive,
Mm-hmm.
but in the long run, like, it's pretty
People
good.
spend
No,
a lot
that's
of
a
money
really
on their
good
health
point.
Mhm.
anyways. So.
Yeah.
Those prices really aren't that crazy.
Yeah,
You know?
it's not.
Like,
No, it's true on the perspective though of like the actual healthcare though. Like it's probably more expensive. They're just gonna make it be as expensive as they can
Yeah.
to tax on that money.
Yeah. And we want our prices to be where people like can do the services, So it's, I don't know, price is just a funny thing.
Yeah.
do people that do this, do you find they come back like routinely?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. I have a lot of people, once they know that the like IV infusions are making them feel the way they are, and they're like, oh my heck, I have been low on energy or haven't been sleeping good. And then they, at least once a month, I have people doing it.
Yeah. Is that a good schedule? Probably
Mhm.
like once a month.
Yeah, once or
Deal.
twice a month, depending on obviously budget
Sure.
and just how often that they're wanting to do it.
Yeah.
You can do it up to once a week.
Okay.
I'm sure that
So,
would be great
I
if you
know.
could afford it. That
Yeah.
would be great.
Yep. So my recommendation is one to twice a month.
Yeah. Are you seeing it mainly for the energy, like you said, or what is like the most common one that people
Yeah,
are doing?
it is mostly for energy. But also like we have magnesium that's in.
Yeah.
So our Revive is our most popular infusion,
Okay.
and magnesium is really good for relaxing the body. So like PMS symptoms too. If you're
Mhm.
cramping, that's going to help with the
Magnesium
cramps.
will help.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
Sleep? Is
yeah.
magnesium good for sleep?
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yep. And high blood pressure, it also helps with that too. So there's
The things you don't realize.
there's a lot of benefits to
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
We also have something called glutathione. It's an antioxidant, so it's going to bind to toxins in the body and then flush those out too. So if you like are really sick or
Yeah.
just feel like you need a cleanse, then that is really beneficial for that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I know. And learning this, it's been a whole different side of nursing because
True.
like in the hospital, it's like you're pushing meds, and this is more of like a holistic approach of like
True.
vitamins
Mhm.
and minerals. And so it's been just this learning curve of having to like know that these are more preventative measures.
Because
And
you
like-
said you started this a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Yep. About 2.5 years.
Yeah. And then you're having to be like your own business owner
Mhm.
too. Like that's completely different than a standard nursing job.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I didn't go to school for business
Yeah.
or marketing.
So do you have like your own website too, or do they kind of like have a main one that you?
Yeah. So we have our main Modwella website, and then within that, there's all the different states that you can go
So you
to.
manage like your social media,
Mhm.
and then just any local ads you want to run.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what are some struggles that you've faced on this journey, starting up your business?
Oh man, it's probably gonna go back to that didn't go to school for business or marketing, so I've had to learn all of these ways to advertise for myself and kind of think outside the box.
For sure.
Because being a nurse, it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, you're taking care of people. And so it's that mentality of like, I am a business
It's like
owner.
rebranding yourself a little bit.
Yes,
That's a different
exactly.
type of nurse.
Mhm. Yep. So that's been a struggle too. And then I would say also healthcare is always changing. So it's just making sure to keep up with
I see.
the new like health trends and making sure that we're getting in front of that and learning about them so that we can keep up with it. as
Lately,
well.
there's been so many trends the last few years.
There has
of
been.
health and diet. And
So this
that.
business can kind of evolve over time since you have the skills to do the injections and whatever other things that you want to do. Like, as fads change, not that this is just because of a fad, but
Well, the
Yeah.
health
Like-
fads of what they
Yes,
focus on.
Yep, it's definitely evolving.
Yes.
I assume there's like some kind of like meeting at first to figure out what you need to start with, because it seems like there's a lot of options. Like, how do you know which one besides
the-
budget, I guess?
Yeah,
do you
so usually when someone calls me, we do have consults for specific services, like our weight loss peptides. We do a consult first. And then for our NAD, we'll do consults just to educate them on what the routes that they can have the NAD from. And usually we'll do like a testosterone consult as well. And so, but if you were to need like Botox or an IV, that is figured out at the appointment. So I come to
That's
the
easy
home,
for you.
and we discuss what's going on, what symptoms you're having, and then make a plan from there.
Yeah. So do you have a limit on where you'll travel?
So we have nurses throughout Southeast Idaho.
Okay, great.
But for myself personally, Blackfoot and Idaho Falls is generally where
Sure.
I go.
Yeah.
I do have clients in Pocatello just because I kind of am in the middle, and it's just word of mouth too. Like if someone refers me and they contact me directly, I'd love to take care of them. You know,
course.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a limit. I have gone up to Rexburg before too. So we can charge a travel fee if we feel the need to.
Yeah.
Just if it's like, I'm not going to drive 3 hours, just,
No,
so there are limits to it, I guess.
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I want to go back to your marketing struggles.
Okay.
What were you literally doing? Like, what were your attempts of new things to try?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I have obviously had my Instagram for a while. I have dipped my toes into TikTok a little bit. But I'm laughing because this just happened recently that I made a reel trying to keep up with trends.
Okay.
And it was, Pink Pony Club. Everyone knows Pink Pony Club, the song.
Chaperone?
Yes, the song. And it was this nurse that she was like over her phone pretending she's doing CPR.
Okay.
And it's like, point of view, you're a nurse and you learn that Pink Pony Club is
it's the beats.
107 beats per minute
Uh-huh.
for CPR. I
Uh-huh.
was like, oh, I got this. I'll do it. And so it took me, obviously, a lot of like retries. And then I finally get the one. I'm like, okay, this is it. Put the music to it. And then before I post stuff, I usually show my husband. I'm like, okay, look at this.
Yeah.
And he was like, it kind of looks sexual. And I'm like, no. And I'm telling myself, like, it does not.
is
I work
This
so
is
hard on
great.
this.
Yeah.
And I posted it, and within minutes, I had friends texting me, and they were like, what are you doing? Yes. And I was like, delete. Like, I'm either going to lose clients from this or gain.
Not the right kind. No,
Yes,
probably.
exactly.
That's so funny.
So I deleted it off my Instagram. I still have it on my TikTok because I'm like,
It's
whatever.
still on TikTok?
It is. Yeah, but I
Is it
still
getting
have
attention
evidence.
or no?
I haven't even looked. I think I was just like, block it out of my head.
Uh-huh.
Don't
It's
even.
viral. You don't even know it.
Yeah, it might be. But so that was a learning experience because I'm like, it really is. It's not easy to just,
It's not easy.
and I'm an overthinker too. So I'm like, okay, my captions have to say this or it's,
Yeah, it can
so
take
it is
hours.
a struggle.
You can lose hours to making a
Yes, you
stupid
can.
reel.
I know.
And then it gets deleted. And
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happens every time.
Exactly. Yeah. And I've learned too that with my Instagram, I've had to, it's a good balance of like showing my personality, but also being educational on the
Sure.
services that I offer.
Yeah.
So just trying to balance out that.
Because around here, it's kind of like a newer thing. Like it's pretty cool and hip. It's very LA of you.
Yeah, it is a new thing. Some people,
It's very Utah.
yeah, yes, it does. So yeah, people.
So do you have to do much marketing to like find these crowds that want it, or do they just come to you?
Yeah, I would say it's probably both. I tried to do events like once a month just so that I'm trying to get the name out there and get more business from that.
Do you ever do targeted ads? You should do all the reality TV shows for people who enjoy the Kardashians.
That's
and,
a
like,
good
Bravo.
idea.
Those would be the people who would immediately just do it.
Hailey Bieber.
Yeah.
She talks about NAD,
Yeah.
you know.
Kendall Jenner, like any of them, just like any fans.
Yeah.
Target the Hailey fans.
I need to do that.
So if you do house calls, can you do groups of people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. For our IVs, we have group discounts. They start at 2 people.
Okay.
Or if you have 5 people, I think it's a 15% discount. And then over 10 people, it's a 20% discount off of the IVs.
Nice.
So yeah.
That'd be kind of fun. Do people do that a lot?
They do. Yeah. It's kind of fun to just get a big group of people and you're just sitting there hooked up to an IV and
So funny.
Everyone's feeling good.
Yeah, I mean, people go out and get drinks to hang out. Like, it's just like another way of hanging out and relaxing for your health.
And some people will be like, can I drink while I'm getting this? I'm like, yes, you can. It's fine. Like, you know.
It balances out.
Exactly. There's balance. Yeah. And then for our Botox as well, we do Botox parties.
That's fun too.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you do pop-up stuff like events?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have one coming up this weekend here in Idaho Falls.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've previously done some with the Sun Gun. And yeah.
Do they have good turnout for you? So I feel like you have a good thing that people would actually turn out for.
Yes. It depends kind of what they're seeking out.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So I try to have a lot of variety there just for people who, you know, some people don't do Botox. They just want the vitamin stuff and vice versa. So I just try to have that variety there. But yeah, it's collaborations are great.
Is mobile, like, would this be a thing that could ever be mobile? Like if you got a cool, I don't know, Sprinter van
like
converted to like a little booth in the back that was like all luxury though. Like,
yeah, I've thought about that because I feel like down
worth it though. Like
yeah,
so it'd be like $100,000 van you'd have to make,
and you just go in their house like
well,
go inside.
Yeah, I know.
The first customer, you're so excited for his van.
You're like lock him in the van.
You're like
no.
actually, you're not staying in your house. You're coming with me.
You're going on a drive.
Botox on a bumpy road, and just like.
Yeah, no, I have thought about that before, and it's a really good idea if you could make it work.
Now that I say it out loud, it might be a
Yeah. How about you drive? You could be the driver.
It has to be moving. It's not a park thing.
Yeah. Because they do have stuff like that, like in bigger cities, downtown.
That might just make it feel cheap, though.
Yeah.
Here, it might not be worth it, but sure, like a big city, like if it's a bunch of apartments, like in Honolulu, like maybe it would have been okay.
Yeah.
Parking would still be a problem. But
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe future.
Right.
We'll brainstorm that one a little more.
So, do you ever have help when you go to these, or are you always alone?
Like
if you do the group of 8 people, you just
so yeah, if it is a bigger group like that, I'll try to just stagger them depending on how long. Like if they are like, I have 2 hours and I have 8 people, then I'll bring another nurse with me so that it isn't taking longer than expected. But if I usually can handle like 5 or 6 people by myself. So yeah.
And then do you manage those nurses, or are each of you kind of like just independent? So you don't really like manage each other?
So I currently manage the nurses in Idaho.
Oh, nice.
So you do trainings and
yes,
great.
Yep, the hiring and training.
How did you get to that point?
So
sorry, real quick. Not every person in your position does that though. Like hiring and
in the different states there is, but for Idaho,
so you're all in charge of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, you're good. It's kind of like I don't know how to say this. I probably shouldn't say
Okay.
it, you know, kind of.
You can say it and we'll see how it sounds and cut it out.
Okay, that sounds good. So we had previous owners over Idaho, and they were owned their own entity here in Idaho. They
For the
decided,
Modwella.
yeah, for Modwella.
Okay.
Yep. So there's the owners originally of Modwella, but then they had people running Idaho
Kind of
essentially.
like franchising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. In a way,
Uh-huh.
and they decided to go on their own path.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel very great about that, so I decided to stay with Modwella, and so the position became available for me to
Great.
be the manager in Idaho.
Nice.
Step up and fill those big shoes.
Yeah, it's also been just, you know, a learning experience.
Yeah.
You're
and
done
There's
hiring.
a lot of people managing
Yeah,
now. Like,
right.
nonetheless, like guests who you're having to manage groups, but now like people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. And I've never been in a manager position, and so it's been an adjustment.
It's
for
a
sure.
fun time
Mhm.
when you
Have you had any
start
like
managing
difficult
people.
situations?
Not
with
yet.
employees?
Knock
That's good.
on wood. All
Good.
of my nurses are so great.
That's good
They're
because they're probably adults that are
yeah.
Care about their career.
Yes,
care
like
about their
wanting
career
to
and-
be successful. They're
Uh-huh.
driven, motivated. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're really great.
That's good.
Yes.
You're not getting like entry level.
I was like, ours was
Yeah.
16-year-olds at Hollister and Abercrombie.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah.
these
You're
kids.
like, you got to step it up.
Literally.
Seriously.
What was that?
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, that's really that's cool. So managing people, has that been
Do you like it?
fun?
I do. I am not a confrontational person. Like I am more of like a soft personality type, you know. So I've had to learn, you know, if I do have a difficult person, which I haven't yet, you know, like how do I manage that, or you know. And so it's been
Yeah.
just kind of prepping myself for that. Like with my kids, yeah, I'll tell
Mhm.
you what's up, but
Mhm.
when it comes to adults, I don't.
Literally, you have
just
to like
don't-
say it to their face.
Mhm. Yeah, and you can obviously say it in a way that is loving,
Yeah.
you know, like, but
It's still
yeah,
hard.
it is hard.
Have to say the hard things.
Mhm.
But then we've learned like your life is just harder when you don't say the hard things.
Yes, yeah,
You've got
That's-
to
so true.
solve them.
Yeah, just be upfront
Mm-hmm.
and you learn from it.
Mm-hmm. No one you've had to hire or fire immediately.
No,
No, like
no firing.
bad experiences.
Mm-mm.
Good.
Nope.
Okay.
It's been smooth sailing.
So for the products that you use, does it all come from Modwella? Like, or are you able to like pitch them something like, hey, there's this that I heard about, and or does
Yeah.
it just all come through them? And if they get something new, you get something new.
Yeah, so they're very open to ideas because,
Mhm.
like I said, healthcare is always evolving. So they want to stay up with that. So they're open to ideas. But as far as the services that we currently offer, all of the stuff comes from them.
Because obviously it has to be tested and
Mhm.
stuff first. So yeah.
Yes.
Regulated products.
Mhm.
Yes, they're really good quality stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So how do you balance your creativity, your lifestyle, and your work all together?
Oh man, it's a hard balance
Mhm.
that I have learned. But also coming from working 12-hour shifts, and now it's just kind of like my work I can do while my kids are at school, and that's been the biggest blessing. Like
Mhm.
it's a challenge, but it's a blessing because I can be home with my kids now in the morning instead of like being at work at 6 o'clock and then getting home at
Yeah,
6:30 or 7. I haven't seen them all day.
literally.
And that's sadly just kind of how nurses work, you know, those
Yeah.
shifts. But
Mhm.
anyways, I balancing it, I've just had to learn like, okay, I can be with my kids in the morning and the evenings, and then during the day, that's when I have to put in my work, and I can't procrastinate. Like my time is special,
Literally.
and I've just had to learn that. And
Mhm.
like I have a family, you know, I myself want to stay healthy, so like working out, trying to fit that in, but also managing, doing meetings.
There's not enough hours in the day.
There's really not.
When you like start time blocking it out of like all the things you want to do with
Yeah.
family and kids, like,
Yes.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I can definitely see, because part of this job too is if someone's sick, they, call me and they're like, I need you now. And so that's
I
been
see.
hard too, because if I'm home in the evenings or something with my family, like
Mhm.
I choose to go take the client,
Sure.
and that's just the part that my family has to understand. And they do.
Mhm.
So it's hard on me and my mom heart. Like
Mhm.
sometimes I think about it and I want to cry, but they just know that like
Yeah.
I put on my shirt and they're like, oh, you're going to work.
Literally,
So
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not like you're just doing it for that cash value in that moment.
mhm.
Because that's I feel like when it gets hard for us too. Like if we get a shoot gets scheduled and it was supposed to be time to be with like our daughter,
Saturday night.
and I'm like, is it worth the $100 that I'm gonna make on this like
Yeah.
that time? But then you're like just remembering that it's for a bigger purpose, and you're trying to build something, and that can't happen if you're not taking those little steps. And
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
but yeah, it sucks sometimes.
I do
Yeah,
get the
it
mom
is
guilt with that. But at least that's nice from like, how old are your children?
5 and almost 4.
Oh, okay. They're pretty
Yeah,
little
they're
still.
small.
So they were only like 2-ish when you stopped your like 12-hour shifts. When did you stop doing like 12-hour shifts?
Recently.
Recently?
Yeah, so I went PRN at my other job just a couple months ago.
Oh, wow.
Mhm. 'Cause
Okay.
I was, got the managing position
Yeah.
within Modwella and trying to still balance that. And I'm like,
So you're pretty
can't.
recently like freed up in your schedule now.
Yeah.
So you're just getting used to that still.
it's new.
It's a really nice freeing feeling.
Yeah.
Like during the day and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
I'm not like locked in a room somewhere with someone like
Right.
telling me I need to do anything right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Is
Yeah.
this okay?
Yeah, I know. Like, I feel like I should be doing something, but
So I think that's a part of the guilt sometimes too, where it's like you feel like you should be doing something else or more. And it's like, no, I'm going to spend this time with my kid right now
yes.
and like soak that up.
Mm.
And I'm like, I'm the rich one right now since I get to
Yeah,
hang out with my child.
I know. Yeah. And
Yeah.
they just grow so fast.
Literally.
So,
Yeah.
Seriously, I can't imagine being gone all day and then coming back and only having that like short period of the window, the evening.
yeah,
It's just not enough.
I know it makes you feel like you're missing out
Uh-huh.
on a lot of stuff.
100%. I nannied in college for my aunt, and she went out of town. This is the one and only time I ever did this. And she had 2 little kids, like maybe like 4 and like 2, like really little. And I had to drop them off at daycare. Like it was so I'm going to ISU. I'm living at like Bengal Creek or something. And I have to go and drop off the kids at daycare in the morning. Well, actually, I stayed the night there because it was like I was nannying while she was gone. And so I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. Take the kids to daycare at 6 a.m. I'd go to school and nap. And then I'd go and pick up the kids at like, the pickup time was like 6 p.m. or something. That was like their normal schedule. And then I would go and pick them up. I'm like, all right, time to make you dinner and put you to bed.
I know.
I'm like, I hung out with you for 2 hours today.
yeah, it just flies
It
by,
was
and
insane.
yeah, I know. So that time that you're spending, with
Literal
them
time.
is, like, you need to just focus on them.
Yeah. It's just, you don't realize it until like you're literally in it and your child is growing right before your eyes. It's
Yes.
so crazy.
Yeah, no, it's really good motivation
It
to
is.
figure out your time and just free up time.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's 2024 where it's like the 9 to 5 is sliding out of popularity here. Like, no, we're going to take back our time and our lives here.
I guess kind of thinking of that, do you guys get commission or anything? Like, if you find these new clients, or is it just like, is that your incentive?
Yep. So all of our stuff is commission based,
Oh,
and
cool.
then we also
Is there a cap on commission that you're aware of?
yes,
Yeah.
there is. We like for the newer nurses that get hired on, they can work towards that cap. And if they do, but some of our services, the commission is just a set rate. And then we also can accept tips which is definitely a
Nice.
new thing as
So that's why you hang
nurse.
around for 45 minutes and are
Like, I'll
nice.
read this book out loud to you,
Yeah.
actually.
let me like brush your hair,
I see
you know,
now. Yeah.
rub your feet.
Right? Uh-huh.
Yes.
Here's my tip jar while I do
know.
that.
And have you ever seen like on TikTok, there'll be a nurse in the hospital and they'll like show their phone and it has a tip option at the bedside. And I'm like,
It's
that's just so
Stop.
it's like as a
What?
joke.
Okay,
Like I'm
good.
providing you
it's not
this care
Yeah.
and you know, but
Yeah.
that
You're like, if the
just-
hospital wasn't charging me $15,000,
Seriously,
that
yeah.
would be funny.
Yeah.
you know, and it's a joke. But
No,
Read
it's
the
great.
room.
when I yes.
It is funny. Though.
Yeah, so that has been kind of a hard thing too to accept that.
I'll put my
you-
request out for them.
Yeah,
That's okay. Yeah. Okay. Hard to accept the tips or
just
what?
the idea of it
It is.
as a nurse. I'm like, I have never been tipped in my career, so
I don't know how I feel about tips.
But if people feel like they want to give you that value, and sure.
well, yeah, you know,
Like, I'm not opposed to tips,
yeah,
but like sometimes like with our service too, like we do it, we charge a price. I'm not
Mhm.
like expecting it.
I agree.
Right.
The times we've gotten tips, I'm like, oh,
I'm
weird.
like, thank you. I'm like,
Yeah.
you didn't
Keep
have to
this
do
or-
that.
yeah.
Like,
Yes.
thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know it is kind of a weird.
But then there's others who like to rely on that, or like even like tattoo artists.
Yeah.
it'd be like this plus tip, and I'm like,
Mhm.
just charge how much you want.
Just don't make
Yeah.
Don't make me guess the extra amount that
just
you
charge me $40 more.
Yeah.
Can't handle
I-
this.
I know they are very like obviously I'm accepting of them, but it's
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
you.
guess.
yeah.
That's so funny.
So, what advice would you give to someone trying to chase their dream,
Mhm.
be an entrepreneur?
Mhm.
I would say if you have something like that you're wanting to do, just go for it. Be persistent, and even like there's going to be hard times that you're going to go through. But if you like have that drive and you put in what you want, then that's what you're going to get out of it,
Mhm.
you know? So, yeah, it's been a roller coaster, but it's been so worth it. And I'm so glad that I made that leap in this business. And so that would be my
Yeah.
advice.
I don't think we asked you how long after you first saw the booth at that fitness competition to when you like were doing it yourself. How
Yeah.
long was that
The
gap?
action.
It was probably a couple months.
Wow, so pretty quick. Like you
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah. Like I was the person who hired me. I remember them saying like, we were nervous, but you were pretty persistent. And
We
so
were
I was
nervous.
like, just because the area in Blackfoot is so
Okay.
small.
Sure,
and so
sure,
they were like doing it in a smaller
Mhm.
community. I don't know. And I was like, I know,
Yeah.
you know,
Uh-huh.
just hire me.
You're
Yeah.
like, there's some people
Yes.
here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Cool. So, no, that's great. It just
Yeah.
shows you can
Just
really
persistence.
change your life just like that.
Yeah. it
2
really
months later,
can.
and you're like in a whole new thing.
Literally,
Mhm.
because you just went to like a CrossFit event and you saw that,
Yeah.
and then it like changed everything.
Yeah.
Because you hadn't
That's
thought
how it
about it
started.
before, right? Or
No, that was the first time that I
Yeah.
had
It's pretty
seen
cool.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Yeah.
Are you at a place now where you're trying to hire more people, or are you set?
We are pretty set in Idaho right now.
Mm-hmm.
So there are smaller communities that we possibly are looking for, like Burley could be one. We are up in Coeur d'Alene area too. So up in that northern part.
So, if someone wanted to join your team, it's a waiting list kind of thing right now.
Yeah, we do get resumes,
TBD.
and
Yeah.
I have to be like, well, we will reach out if we expand more.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
Well, it's good to know they're out there.
yeah,
So where can people look you up to sign up for this?
to work
No.
or to schedule
get
an
an
appointment.
Yeah.
To appointment. Yeah. So message me through my Instagram.
Okay.
We do have the booking website, modwella.com, and then you can click Idaho. I am currently under the Pocatello tab. So that is essentially just
I see.
all of Southeast Idaho,
Okay.
Pocatello, Blackfoot, Idaho Falls, up to Rexburg.
Okay.
So they can book through there. Or I have my phone number on my Instagram too that people can text me.
Is that best to just give you a text or call?
Yeah, texting
Text?
or through Instagram.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
Yeah, it is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we just send forms for them to do, like a consent form, and go from there.
I know you said you kind of do like house calls just on a whim, but like, do you normally recommend people to call you a couple days before to schedule this thing, or does that not matter?
I'll usually put out my schedule at the beginning of the week on my Instagram. So yeah, it's preferred to schedule in advance, but sometimes the day calls, I'm like, oh yeah, it's almost an adrenaline rush. Like, oh, I gotta go take care of someone.
I'm on the way.
Yeah, put my cape on. Like, here I go. But yeah, no, I love it. Then that just means like that they're thinking of me when they're
Totally.
sick, and I want to be that person because I genuinely love taking care of people. Like, that's why I became a nurse.
That's important.
And so I want to be there, and I try really hard to make that time for them.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's really cool. It's
Yeah.
fun. Okay, so what's your Instagram handle?
Modwella
Nurse.
Taler.
Taler.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
send her a DM, send her a text, get your IVs. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I want to try one of these.
I know. I'm curious.
Yeah, I know. I would love you to.
Yeah.
I think I do have my IV stuff in my car. I just kind of carry it with me, just for the.
You're so funny.
You're
real
always
quick.
ready. You're not kidding.
Yeah. But I also have like B12s and vitamin D injections too, if you guys wanted to try.
Maybe
just
the
like a
next
shot.
podcast we'll just have you come while we're getting the podcast.
Yes.
done.
Oh, that's an idea.
Yeah.
Like getting in the IVs
Yeah.
while podcasting.
See if I look better by the end of the podcast.
Yeah, you'll be glowing.
Yeah.
Does it help with your complexion like that?
Yeah.
Some things?
It does. The glutathione helps with that. And then I also have biotin that I can do. So it's like a beauty IV that they
Okay.
call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, we're going to have to get some. Okay.
Okay, everyone check it out.
Thank you.